This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in the headquarters of Parker, Colorado of Front Range Global Tracking Systems. Basically brand new 2012. They have been providing peace of mind by monitoring where the whereabouts of your drivers are at. Basically, I'm here with the founder and the owner. Let me ask you, Robin, what got you involved in this type of industry, first of all?
Actually, I got into it because of my mom. She was a senior. She actually passed away last year at 100 years old. Wow. And she had several spills during the course of the last couple of years of her life, and we looked for a product that we could use to keep track of her, essentially. And we didn't have much luck finding it. We tried a couple of things, but they didn't work to the benefit of her, so eventually we wound up sending them back.
Wow, that's a great personal story. Let me ask you this type of service here, why is it more possible today from a cost standpoint, possibly than even 10, 15 years ago?
Technology's advanced so quickly, Gary. There has been a, how do I say it? It's comes down to the federal government has deregulated a lot of these or declassified a lot of these technologies, making them available to the average user. So within the last 10 years, a lot of these products have come to fruition as a result of that. And obviously, as the economies of scale affect it, the price comes down.
And the end consumer wins in the long run, which is great. Let's talk about this device first of all. Are we talking about one device that goes on an automobile, some that go on people? What does the device itself look like, and is there an installation required?
There are a number of different devices. The simplest is this particular one, and I could probably show it to you later up close, but essentially it's a device that allows you to track a person, an individual, an asset, a pet, online via our software, and at the same time you can also, if need be, contact the person that's holding the device or wearing the device, or they can contact you. There's an SOS button right in the middle of it, and they push the button, hold it, and it will make a phone call and send a text.
Now what about on an automobile? Would it be a larger device or the same type of device?
There are several larger devices. One of them actually plugs right into the onboard diagnostic port, which is essentially a plug-and-play type device. You don't have to do anything except plug it in, and then it becomes a tracking device. There are more sophisticated devices also that would be hardwired into your automobile or your truck or your van or whatever, and those would be devices that would give you a lot more metrics, essentially, than the basic device would. So
wonderful. One of the reasons you started the company was a personal standpoint there, but quite honestly, share with me before we get into some of the personal, from a business standpoint, this absolutely has to help businesses become more profitable. Share with some of the ways here.
Yes, absolutely. The first way and the most important way, I think, is in saving gasoline. Okay. Because a business owner is actually looking at trying to cut costs wherever they can.
Sure. And
any vehicle that's not where it should be or is burning gasoline at idle when it shouldn't be is costing a business owner money. The other thing is also that the business owners, when they don't know where their vehicles are, their vehicles could be someplace that it's not quite savory, or perhaps they're not doing their job, you know.
Talk about total control from the luxury of your desktop with anyone out there. I imagine this works great for trucking industries, taxi service, limo service, all those across the board.
Pretty much. You could name an industry and almost any industry would benefit from it.
Wonderful. I know one of the most valuable things for people to have out there is their sales force. And obviously, like you say, time is money. How does this help with the sales force, just knowing where your people are at? Not only that, but for safety reasons.
Well, in the case of an accident, let's say, you may not know where your salesperson or your sales force is. So if they suddenly disappear off the radar, what do if you can't reach them?
Right.
So this device actually gives you the option to be able to find where they are, see if they're in motion, see if they're actually contactable. And as an individual device, if you're wearing it, you can also track the person and see if they're where they're supposed to be.
As from a business standpoint, again, it looks, let's say, for instance, you have valuables in the car. We're talking about jewelry, art dealers, that type of thing. Works great for that, has to.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we have suggested to a number of industries, even industries as obscure as people that ship caskets, bodies, that kind of stuff. Expensive jewelry, rings, anything that's got a unique amount of value to it, because you put this in with the package, you ship it out, you know where it is at all times. So if it doesn't arrive when it's supposed to arrive, you just go online, check it, and you can find out exactly where it is.
What a peace of mind for the business owner out there. Let's shift over to the personal side a little bit here. Obviously, as a parent, first thing that comes to mind for me, I'm talking about I got a 16-year-old. She's a new driver. Does this work for them as well?
Absolutely. This is one of the areas that we tend to concentrate on, is new drivers. Primarily drivers that have a learner's permit or have recently started driving, and the parents want peace of mind, which is what we try to sell, peace of mind, because you know where your child is at all times.
Wonderful. And you also said the elderly, it's great for them because you're talking about a two-way communication. You've got an SOS button on there as well. What about people with special needs, disabilities?
Yes, absolutely. People with Alzheimer's, with Asperger's, somebody that's got dementia, even slight dementia. It's a great product to have, because if you get into trouble, you lose your way, you push the button, and you have instant access to the person that you care about most, and they can talk to you.
Wonderful. Peace of mind is definitely something you put in your service here. But I would imagine somebody like a hiker, a skier, people out and about, it can almost be life-saving.
It can, and there are devices that do that as well. Some of our devices will allow you to go out into the backcountry, and you can actually find the person. Where the technology tends to fall short is these devices still require a combination of the satellite service and cell service. So if you leave cell service areas, that's when they start to fall short. So there are limitations, as with any technology, to what these devices can do.
Wonderful. Well, folks, we've explained a little bit about the businesses that can benefit from this service, and also personal individuals. And if you take a look at the bottom of the screen right there, you're going to see their website information. On the website, you're going to see the different services they provide and offer. They even have an online demo right there. You can go in, check it out, and you're going to get an idea of what it feels like to be in control right there at your desktop. Speaking of the technology, I imagine we've got competitors out there, but really it's all about technology and years and years of research that you guys have put in to basically put the best out there.
It's a combination of things, Gary, absolutely. Technology is advancing constantly. One of the areas that we try to tell people about that they're not aware of is that there is a huge difference from one technology to another. Even though it looks like you're getting a good deal, there's a reason why you're getting a good deal on a piece of equipment. It's usually an older technology, or it's not as efficient or as accurate. So there are a lot of variables. And I get constant questions about that from clients. Why is the price what it is? Why is it not less expensive? Well, you can buy less expensive, but you risk the fact that the technology is going to be discontinued very shortly.
Well, I can tell you from a parent standpoint, there's really no price you can put on my 16-year-old being out there. I'm sleeping better at night. I would absolutely say go with the best you can possibly get. One thing, maybe somebody doesn't have parents out, but they have pets. What about if you want to track a pet?
Yep, we have devices that do that as well. There are devices that will work strictly like within a range, that work on Wi-Fi. These do not use satellite service so much as they use Wi-Fi to track the pet. There are also other devices that will use GPS, so you can find that pet no matter where it is. Interesting story, we had a friend of ours that actually bought a device from us, and she put it on her pet because the pet kept disappearing. And she found out that what was happening is the animal was going from house to house, so he had 3 homes. And he was actually getting fed at each house, So she was very curious as to why he was disappearing all the time and why he was never super hungry, because he was well fed, and that's what it turned out to be.
That is very cool. The whereabouts of your loved ones, as well as whereabouts of all your business doings going out there in the field. Let me ask you, folks that want to get involved out there, how does it begin? Do they go online, do a demo, and is there a consultation involved, or what do you do?
Yeah, you can do that. You can go online. You can look at the product. As you said, we have demonstrations online. I would recommend that somebody take a closer look at the device via a consultation before actually purchasing it, so they get a full understanding of what they do, what the capabilities are, what they're actually investing in, because it's an investment in your loved one. That's how I look at it, or your business. And at that point, you can make a decision. as to whether or not it's something you want to invest in. You know, what I say to people more often is your priorities are what keeps you from buying something. What's most important to you in terms of safety. I had a situation recently come up where I was talking to someone and they said they couldn't afford the device, and then about 2 minutes later we got onto the topic of Christmas, and he said to me, well, I'm buying my kid a PlayStation. And I'm like, well, that's $400, you know, which is like almost double the cost of a GPS device. You're worried about your kid, you know, being out there and not knowing where he is, but then your priorities kind of like in the wrong place, I think, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Let me ask you, for somebody, let's say a company out there wanted to do a trial, do a 7-day trial, something like that, is that available and is that a possibility?
Yes, absolutely. We offer that as an option for anybody that's interested in buying.
Oh, great, wonderful. And let me ask you, are there any benefits as far as insurance-wise for actually having a GPS unit?
Insurance companies are starting to get on board. Certain insurance companies, when it comes to business options, might offer discounts. The other thing that is something of value to a business owner when they travel interstate is that these devices will print out a report called an IFTA report, and that actually offers a complete report of any trips that the vehicles make in or out of state. And any vehicle that travels out of state, the gas tax is deductible from your taxes. So, but you have to have the IFTA report in order to be able to use it on your income taxes.
Wonderful. Folks, once again, websites at the bottom of the screen right there we're talking about. It basically makes total sense for a company to have and be in control of out in the field. And from a personal standpoint, we're talking about peace of mind. Once again, that is Front Range Global Tracking Systems, the very best in GPS. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.